So to that last question, would the word engine or motor be a good word? That the energy of the vortex is the motor that's providing the power that makes it happen.
It is, because what we were reaching for is that once you find a vibration, then the power of the vibration coupled with the power of the law of attraction is the energy that brings about the results. And effort becomes a non-issue, except that alignment is the effort. But when you're trying to get into alignment from not being in alignment, that effort is hard. So what we're suggesting in all of this is that there's a much easier way in, and some might call it the back door in, but the easiest way in is just to realize that sometimes you're just there. And if you will just acknowledge that you are there every time you are there, then before you know it, you'll be there all the time. But you've got to know that you're there and acknowledge that you're there and hold the vibration of being there for at least 17 seconds in order for that engine to kick in. How's that?
Very good. Very good.
And then, once that engine kicks in other words, you go to the vortex for 10 seconds every day for a week, you're a different person. You go to the vortex for 10 seconds every week and maintain it for 68 seconds, you're in a whole different vibrational stratosphere. And people around you are beginning to remark on the things that they're beginning to notice. Now that doesn't sound like very much, does it? Except that most people don't do it because they're so vividly aware of reality. These gatherings must be interesting for you to explain to the people. Where were you? No, really, I want to know. Well, there's this man who calls his wife Abraham. Wait, it gets weirder, you say to them. And Abraham insists that there's this vortex of creation. They keep waving around and pointing at the floor and telling us all to go in. It does sound strange when we put it that way, doesn't it? But when you begin to approach your very physical life in a vibrational way, and you begin to think vibrationally, and you begin to feel as you check the happy sugar every day, as you begin to feel your way into alignment, before you know it, nothing else makes any sense to you at all. In other words, you'll get so good at being in the vortex that law of attraction won't even bring you near anything that isn't. And then you'll really begin to live life the way you intended. We're doing a really good sales job on this vortex today, aren't we? Yes?
What's my next step to having a lot of money?
Hopefully you'll marry someone really, really... Here's the thing. Are you getting it that the next step is always the same thing, get in the vortex? Are you getting it that it's not only the next step, it's the only step we've got? It was hardly worth $195, was it? It's all we've got. Just get in the vortex, because when you take the time to get into alignment, you become a cooperative component. All the cooperative components then begin to reveal themselves to you. So the what's the next step is a sort of outside the vortex question, isn't it? It's, what can I do? Where should I go? How will it come about? And we say, this is the thing that we know so powerfully, that we want to find a way of conveying to you so that you will begin to feel it too. But words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. So we'll just tell you what we know. All of the opportunities and interests and rendezvous points, they're already there. You just have to get in there and stay there long enough that you become a translator into action of what is there. We're going to take this to a new place, so stay with us just for a little bit. The thing that you like about this action world, this tangible world, this manifested world, is that you can translate it visually and auditorily. So when you walk into a room, if there's someone there, you see them and you can observe them, you can take them in, you can acknowledge them, you can converse with them, you could touch them, you could even lick them if they would let you. In other words, you can don't do it unless you're sure you're both in the vortex. But there is a satisfying experience in the tactile tangibleness of this manifested world. And so when we talk about this vortex, this vibrational reality, we know it feels like, well, Abraham just wants us to go sit on a cloud somewhere, or it feels like we're trying to get you to distract yourself from reality and just be a feeling person. And while that is the first step, it is our promise to you that once you begin hanging around in this vibrational state of being, in alignment with who you are, your ability to see and hear and smell and taste and touch from inside the vortex becomes as tactile as this manifested world. And you begin living what we are calling real time, where the whole of you is experiencing this physical experience. It's not accurate for us to say that mostly physical is outside the vortex and mostly non-physical is inside the vortex, because it is absolutely possible to be physically focused and be predominantly in the vortex. And the younger you are, the more you know that possibility and the more you resent every moment that you're not. In other words, that's why you take it so hard when you're not, because you still have that cellular memory even that things are supposed to go well for you and that you're supposed to feel good. So what we're wanting to convince you of is that this vibrational state of being will become as vivid and as real and as touchable and hearable and seeable and smellable and tasteable as anything that you know in your physical manifested world. It will manifest. In other words, things do manifest in the vortex. That's what we're wanting to say to you. You can make things manifest. You can allow things to manifest. They're already in the vortex and they are not yet manifested because they're not yet manifested because you're not yet there to translate them into the manifestation. That's what we've been meaning to say to you. So when you practice being in the vortex and you practice until it just feels good to be in there, then you begin translating through your physical senses into manifestation all of those wonderful things that you want, because you have trained yourself through meditation, through appreciation, through compliments, through scripting, through feeling good. You've trained yourself into the vibrational frequency of all of those cooperative components, and then you must awaken to them. They must reveal themselves to you. And other people watching you in your manifestations will not know how you've accomplished it. In other words, you're watching people living their manifested vortex all over the place, and to you it just looks like they were lucky or they were in the right place at the right time. You have no way of knowing what they accomplished or how they did it vibrationally. Sometimes they're just born into a family that thinks that way, so they think that way early on. But it is so much more delicious to be born into contrast and to feel your vortex full of wonderful stuff, and then to figure out how to get in there, and then to deliberately stay there so that you get to be there in the conscious discovery of each unfolding. Because you see, it's not about wanting something and snapping your fingers and there it is. That wouldn't be satisfying. The fun thing is to carve it out of contrast and put it there, and then mold yourself into alignment with it and feel yourself getting closer and closer to it, and then watch step by step all day long as the components that are cooperative to you begin to reveal themselves to you in a string of never-ending, always unfolding, delicious life experience. It just does not get any better than being physically focused and consciously understanding what creation is all about. Friends, we have taken this law of attraction discussion into a place it has never been before. Yes. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. You are a delicious group to rendezvous with. the power of your desire, and your willingness to come along has been a very nice experience for us. We are never concerned about where you are in relationship to what you want, because we know unequivocally that you can get from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. But this was a particularly delicious experience because we felt the flexibility, if you will, of your vibration and your willingness to rendezvous with us in new places. Many of the words that we said are the same as those that you may have heard before, but the intensity of them and the bumping into yet a new place was extremely satisfying here. It feels to us as if, for the most part, you are accepting the reality of this vibrational reality. And the next thing that's about to take place for you is that now that you've accepted the reality of this vibrational reality, it will show itself to you in more vivid ways, just by knowing that it exists. What you can expect over the next few days is insight about things that you've been wondering about, maybe things that weren't even active here today, because you have had, as a result of your participation here, whether you sat in the hot seat or not, a vibrational shift. And that vibrational shift means that everything that you focus upon from this point forward, as long as this vibrational shift is active within you, will yield you a different outcome, some slight and some great, that you have received before. You're going to notice some relationships will have shifted dramatically as a result of this brief conversation that we've had here today. Our strongest enthusiasm about what's taken place here today is that you have been reveling in the vibrational altitude, so to speak, of the frequency of your inner being. And what that means is you've been allowing cellular communication throughout the day in a way that you usually don't. You've been allowing alignment with the things that you put into your vortex in a more consistent way than you usually do. And the result of that is that we are expecting a lasting vibrational shift as a result of your willingness to participate. And the evidence of that shift will reveal itself to you. And the best part about that is you're going to have several experiences that are going to make you feel all warm and wrapped up in a sort of worthy blanket of well-being. In other words, you just can't have had a shift and then have the universe yield to you evidence of the shift without knowing your worthiness and your well-being. And that is perhaps the most exhilarating part of this shift that we have felt here today. Now, every seminar causes shifts for some. And every seminar, there are shifts. But this one was significant. And there is great love here for you. And as always, we remain in the vortex.